You don't need that many models if you've got Mortal Brain.
It just does work well for this event.
14 Aragorns.
It's a lot of Aragorns.
Is he back?
Again, it's very, very good.
Sam and I would probably hate playing this.
Oh.
Sam, you're literally Frodo right now.
He is the hero. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 71 of the Gollum's Gamers podcast, where today we are back with another GBHL 100 preview episode as we are going to be discussing the Lord of the Imps, which is why, along with Vince, Ash and Sam, we are joined today by Eventio, GBHL Marketing Officer and the host of the Entmoot podcast, it's Harry Parkhill. So Harry, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm very well. I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, good. I'm looking forward to chatting about Imps.
Indeed. So before we get into all that, though, I do have a quick announcement to make here that I haven't said yet on the channel. So in just under 2 months' time, I'm going to be live streaming, doing my next tournament live stream at the GBHL League finale on the 13th and 14th of December. So I streamed the finale last year, and this year we are back in Newcastle. So that's when the next tournament stream will be. Save the date. And also, Harry, I believe tickets will be available by the time they go out.
They should be. They're available from the 16th of October. So and it's 1,000 points. It's a big Christmas festive party for the league. It's going to be ace. And Newcastle's an amazing city if you've never been, so worth checking out. It's awesome.
So if you can make it, yes, of course, the tickets will be live. But if not, you can tune into the live stream for another weekend of tournament SBG action. But before we get underway, as always, you can find us on Instagram and Spotify by following the links in the description down below. And also please consider subscribing to us here on YouTube if you enjoy everything that we do here on the channel. So today we'll be looking at some statistics for the event, as well as reviewing some of the army lists in attendance. But first of all, Harry, I wanted to hand over to you to give us a bit of an overview of the event, as it's kind of been a couple of years. I think you were on year before last for Imps to kind of talk about it. The new edition has kind of changed some things as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, of course, you live streamed last one, which I believe, if I'm correct in remembering, was your very first live streamed event, which was really exciting.
You popped my cherry there, Harry.
Yeah, well, I wasn't actually at the event myself, strangely, despite having organised it because my baby was due. Yes. Well, it wasn't just due, he was here. So I was actually watching the stream of my own event, weirdly, while sat on the sofa with my baby. So that was crazy.
I was there to give you,
there was some support. It was brilliant. And so last year, of course, that was the last one of the old edition. New edition, and for people who've never heard of Imps before, the whole thing of it before was all about this. It had this theme of you have an imp, which kind of is a trickster thing. That's like a thing to do with Lincoln, but
Lincoln,
we'll go into the backstory of that. But essentially, it made for these a way of doing this unusual army building restrictions for the event, which was that you had a leader, and then on day one you had that leader, but then on day two you lost that leader and replaced him or her with a certain amount of points or whatever it was, basically. So you had to delete the leader's warband and replace it, topping up to the whatever points run it was. But of course, this new edition is a bit of a nightmare for that sort of stuff, because army building
came in and ruined any individuality.
Of course,
smashing the spirit of Imps.
I know. And look, I was umming and ahhing over this for ages to see whether I could still do the theme, but I think the problem is that it means there are only very few armies that would actually be left sort of as viable, and not just viable but sort of competitive as well. So so many armies have a fixed leader now that if you lost the leader, you'd be left with very few armies that it could become, or so you might just have a lot of legions of Mordor or defenders of the Pelennor or whatever. So I decided, rather than doing that, it's gone to a sort of more old-fashioned de-escalation tournament. So it starts on day one, 850 points, and day two it's 600 points, and there are also fixed scenarios for it. So we know exactly what scenarios are going into it, including basically the old version of Contest of Champions on day two, which was something I retained from the old thing because I wanted to have some of the similarities, some of the sort of themes from last year and previous years hang over into the new edition.
And that was your that was the scenario you had every time you did Imps, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You always had
Absolutely.
champions.
Yeah, because the idea was that your leader would die on day one and then be replaced by usually a lesser hero, but that you were thrown into contest of champions straight away. So you had this decision on day one as like, do you take two big heroes on day one in the hope that you can manage it to muddle your way through the three or four scenarios on day one, but then know that you're going to do well in the contest of champions day two, or do you sort of risk that you can win all three of the four of the day one scenarios and still win contest of champions with a maybe lesser hero? So there was a little bit of restrictions there, but I've kind of kept that. But
you have managed to keep that same sort of theme, just sort of like having to think very carefully on both days what you're taking because it impacts the whole event. So you managed to keep that spirit there.
It's still one of the only hundreds that has quite a unique difference on day one and day two with points building, the points difference. And
I'm surprised it got through the list. I think because quite a lot of people have toned back any special rules that they had this season, particularly because like in the past we had free banners that do loads of different special rules and stuff, but that people have really had unnumbered tiers, which was absolutely mental a couple of years ago.
Fun.
Fun. Great fun, but yeah, I think most TOs have gone, new edition, let's just play it safe. Whereas I've sort of I just really wanted to keep that theme because it's it's not just competitive players who are coming, it's lots and lots of different people from all over the scene who are looking to have fun and have something a bit different. So
yeah. So I think other than for the scenarios, I think you've kept all the scenarios the same picks apart from Sites of Power.
Yeah,
I think the one you've added in.
The thing that I've slightly changed is in the past there was a roll off on day two where we used to have like an objective scenario and a more killy scenario.
Because you rolled through with the big dice, didn't you?
Big dice, big dice. Which sadly there's no big dice rolling opportunities now. But I know, it's really sad. But so there's still something like that. But there are adaptations to most of the scenarios, not most of them, but I think 2 or 3 of them. So
yes,
a little bit different.
So are tickets still available? Do you have any spaces?
Well, I mean, look, there are a couple of spaces, but with it being so close to the event now, I think people would probably be welcome, but I'm a bit. I never like people joining in super late as the event builds up, just because lists are all probably going to be public, and obviously that we're talking about a lot of them today. But yes. I think if people were really nice about it and didn't bring an obviously cooked army, then it'd be fine.
Get in touch.
But I think there's only like 5 spaces anyway, so it is tight.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think we shall leave it there, and I think we are ready to start looking at some of the statistics for the event. So, kicking things off with the army statistics here for the event, the army lists. Now, it's worth noting here, things could be slightly skewed with these, and also the leader statistics, as obviously on day 1 and 2, there were some people that had a different list for day 1 and 2, and then a different leader as well. Although compared to previous years, it was a much smaller number. So what I haven't done is put in both of those options in an effort to kind of keep the numbers roughly what they should be. So yeah, slightly skewed, but 95% should be accurate. So in the top spot here for the Spotify listeners with 8 appearances, we have Men of the West. There's a drop off there to the second place most represented list with 5 appearances, which is the Depths of Moria. Then in third place with 4 appearances, we have the Breaking of the Fellowship. A bit of a rogue pick there, which I did not expect to see for sure. Then in a 5-way tie for 4th place, we have armies like Army of the White Hand, Army of Good and Bad, the Defenders of the Pelennor, Moria, and Ugluk Scouts, and obviously a ton of other lists after that. So who wants to kick us off here? Harry, as the event TO, any initial reactions here?
Well, look, I mean, I kind of said it at the start, didn't I? What if I had done it differently, we might have ended up with a lot of the soup kind of lists that have got lots of choices, lots of heroes, lots of ways to build them, and there right at the top is the king of that now. You've got all the big heroes in one list, and you can I don't remember exactly how everyone's conditioned their Men of the West list, but I'm fairly sure that some people have gone with like a Gwaihir and then a second Eagle, and then dropped that warband entirely for day one, into day two. So there's some interesting ways of doing it, but then that's not the only way they've done it. I really like that. I actually, sorry, just I really like the spread generally, because although there's obviously a big spike of Men of the West at the start, it's great to see a real variety of like the Variags of Kanda there. We've got Shire, we've got Sharky's Rogues. There's some Paths of Druid, and there's some really weird lists there, which is lovely to see.
Some interesting stuff, at GBHL 100 for sure. You do love to see it, but I'm feeling sort of, a little bit uncomfortable about my pick now, because I was going to take Men of the West, and I did not, and now I don't have a King Elisar. So I'm thinking, with 8 of them being there, I'm now going to face one and wish that I had my own, and it's not going to be very fun indeed. But
if you had your own, then you'd just be having a mirror match, and then the better player wins, which means you would lose, right?
and my LSR just wouldn't roll well either. So there we go. It's just 2 in 1.
Too soon, man. It's too soon.
Harry,
on my own podcast. He's been waiting 2 years.
The Men of the West list. If you take LSR and Guai Guai has to be your lieutenant, right? Which means you can't drop him.
Well, it depends on the other. I was going to say, I think there's Gandalf as Valor, I think, as well. Hermes Valor, because Guai isn't legend.
I think, in that.
Oh, okay, there you go. There's a few options.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay, yeah. So, I mean, I'm not surprised to see those top 2, if I'm honest. At all, well. They've been pretty a staple for the whole year. So, breaking of the Fellowship though, I don't really know what.
So I think the reason why it's that into day 2, the Fellowship fit perfectly at 600 points.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
So you can take it at 850 with loads of the heroes plus the elves.
Yeah,
and it's pretty comfortable. They were all like 24 to 26-ish sort of models.
Okay,
and then you drop Haldir and all the elves, and you have the Fellowship. So I think that was sort of the idea.
Yes, that's 600. Yeah.
Yeah, so those were all pretty much the same. Yeah, but where the Men of the West, they were all built in sort of quite, a variety of different ways, I must say. There wasn't one that stood out. So,
yeah, I'm surprised about Army of the White Hand.
Yeah, how does that work?
Not seeing more of it, or
is it because it's 850 points? That's probably top end of probably. Would you feel uncomfortable taking Army of the White Hand at that point? I don't know.
No, I'm not thinking when they have to drop Saruman, day 2, where do they go?
You don't have to. You
don't have to
drop your leader. It's like you don't.
I think
that's why you have the Balrog day 1 and day 2. Spoiler alert, but
doesn't Saruman have to be your champion for content?
Yes, he would.
Yeah.
So that's bad.
That's what I meant.
I guess you're hoping that with Grima and Saruman, you just really prevent theirs from doing a whole lot.
They all had him on horse, obviously, but is it that? Yeah, you've got Magic and Grima to try and slow down their leader, and then Saruman's on horse, we're knocked down. There are worse,
it's not contest matchups. Too probably.
Bad.
But
it's not great. I just think it's really good at 600 White Hand, and obviously at 850, I think you can just maybe hoard it out. I think I had 60.
Probably take a whole bunch of
but
I mean, I guess if you just shove a Corbane in their face, and then
that's it. Or 10.
Transfix with -1 and also Grima, then it becomes a bit of does become hard for them.
The Corbane are pretty good at stopping Depths of Moria as well. If you got enough, one of them will charge the Balrog, which then kind of stops him from doing anything for a turn.
Yeah.
Unless he rolls pretty good.
Do you think that maybe we'd have seen more then? More White Hand, a few more maybe?
I don't really know. I mean,
I just think having Saruman for contesters is pretty risky, right?
Yeah. It is, but there are tools to mitigate it, which
I guess there's also the fact that with so many of the Army of the White Hands bonuses being linked to sort of starting really far away, you don't gain as much of that in the mid when you deploy in the middle for contests and stuff, so you're kind of losing a lot of the advantages.
Yeah,
I guess
the lightning, you just couldn't use the lightning.
Yeah,
no, you just can't use it.
I think at that point though, you'll be casting Transfix. You'll be wanting to cast Transfix then lightning anyway if you're so close. So it's it is a bit redundant. But I mean, I think the fact there's 3 Army of Gundabad, that I think that's quite
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's bulk.
How many
I've taken bulk
brutes
drinks
are
before.
running over champions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we actually, so maybe those people watched MESBG Monthly, where we actually, for Imps specifically, Ali wrote a 850 list and a 600 point list with bulk and a troll brute. So, and I think all the Army of Good and Bad lists, I think, had a troll brute in. I think.
I think that might be right. Yeah.
Yes. So there we go. Maybe so. So Moria as well, though. So we've got the depths of Moria, and then Moria, maybe some scary things in those lists, which we might come on to a little bit later. Some monsters, as we live in the monster meta at the moment. I mean,
we off camera when you just brought this up, Sam went, "Oh, that makes me so sad." I want you to expand upon that a little bit.
Just because the Men of the Western Depths have always, have been seen for however long currently in the new edition. I guess with the difference in type of tournament, I was hoping to maybe see a little bit more.
I think it just fits well, I guess. Like Men of the West, you have a really strong 850 list, and then drop down to like Aragorn and Leggy and hit a fairly respectable model count.
I guess even though there's a big spike there, Sam, I mean, those Men of the West and Depths Memorial lists represent 13 out of 70 something lists. So it's still a 1 in 6 or something like that. So hopefully you still manage to dodge them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Men of the West is the different builds for it.
True. Even to be fair, even the depths lists are all pretty different, and they're not all sort of Balrog and goblins. There's a mixture of stuff, and Moria as well. There's a few different combos as well, so that's cool.
Yeah.
So.
Seeing there's a couple army of Edorasses in there, which I was happy to see with the new Helm Hammerhand and sort of the new Rohan heroes. It's not something that I've seen too much, but kind of at the higher points you can fit in Helm and like loads of Royal Guard and stuff.
Well, now the models are out as well. It'd be great to see them on the table.
Yes, yeah, of course, yeah, the new ones as well. Was it last week? They get a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Yeah. By the time this comes out, it'll be a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So any more sort of rogue picks down here? We've got like Army of Lake Town. I haven't seen anyone's Lake Town list in a very long time.
That's a sus pick.
Yeah. Master of Lake Town for a contest.
Have we got the model count, the average model count?
We haven't done those stats in a number of years, actually. Unfortunately not.
Yes. Okay, well, because I'd like to see how many models does the Army of Lake Town get?
Probably not as many as you think. With their 8 points, 9 points now for whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think one of the things I'm happiest about is we're seeing Expedition to the East, we're seeing Far Harad, we're seeing Khan, so we've got a few legacy armies in there, which is really cool. And frankly, armies that I don't think I've seen at all since those books came out. So that's really cool. Like Path to Druiden as well. Sharky's Rogues. There's just an Umbar, like all of these ones that people have talked about as being kind of interesting, but like that perhaps haven't reared their head because of they're just being so much better.
Trying out there.
I just think it's cool, and I don't know whether that's because of the scenarios or just because people fancy it or what. But or the limits. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah. No, there's a nice spread there for sure down both ends of the chart. So okay, we shall leave things there for the army statistics, and we shall move on to having a look at the leader statistics. Now, a little bit of a sort of unusual pick in here. So, obviously, at the top spot, we had 8 Men of the West lists. That means 8 King Elisars. But then, sneaking into the second place position, we have Strider.
That's right on character.
Is he back? Sort of, we've got 14 Aragorns in there?
It's a lot of Aragorns. He's good, isn't he?
He's back.
Love to see it.
Not sure. But he's snuck in front of the dreaded Balrog.
I'm trying to think what lists that would mean. I mean, because we didn't have many of the Return of the King lists, did we? I can't.
So it's the Breaking the Fellowships,
Breaking the Foul, and the Road to Rivendell as well.
I think one of them is a Defenders of the Pelennors, and then there's a Road to Rivendell, along with the Breaking of the Fellowships.
Breaking Furniture. That's what I was forgetting.
Up to 6.
Cool.
Yes. Yeah.
How
So
did you forget?
I don't know.
and then after the Balrog, we have those other leaders which kind of hit in line with those other lists that we saw. So we have Bolg, 3 dragons in there, Elrond, Saruman from the Army of the White Hands, Ugluk from the Ugluk Scouts, and 3 Witch Kings as well in there. So any initial takeaways from this one?
I don't think so. I mean, I think the blatant thing is obviously a lot of the Aragorns. The other ones kind of fall into place with what you saw in
roughly where they should.
The armies ones. I mean, Aragorn looking at the scenarios, bear in mind that day ones are kind of movement based, more so. And then for contest, he's not half bad.
No.
So it's understandable.
I'd say he's relatively decent, you know.
Does he have Anduil though in like any of those lists? No, because he's
most of them he can't have Anduil, I think.
But I don't think Return of the King, doesn't he? Even though
sorry, that's right. He gets a free, but he can't have it in Road to Rivendell. But I can't remember whether he can have it in the other one. Because actually, I don't think it's as good as it used to be. Because with heroic strength being so good, you just free heroic strength and you get strength 8. It's actually really, really powerful. I found that really useful when I've got Road to Rivendell.
Is his weapon hand and a half?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say yes. But
sorry, not Anduil. His normal.
Obviously, Anduil's.
I think his.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I think his normal sword is a hand and a half.
If his normal sword is hand and a half, he can 2-hand, and as Harry said, I can see why it is slightly worse because you can 2-hand, and if you roll the 6, which is kind of what you need anyway to win fights, you don't suffer any negative from it. So it's kind of like he can still do pretty good damage, and he's got free might every turn. Heroic strength thing or using a 2-handed, going 2-handed, he's still killing stuff.
Well, now he's fight 7, like the strike doesn't come up as much. So I think in combat you're less relying on having to strike with your 3 points. So I think the strength is actually reasonable. Although obviously he's defense 5, so actually defense is not a bad option.
That's the one trouble with strike.
Yeah, in something like contest for sure. Good to see 2 Prince Imrahils in there. I thought he was broken. I thought he was awful and terrible. But no, sort of the new model there. People bringing it out for the tournament. Love to see it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I wonder who's taken Gulliver as their leader. I wonder if there's anybody else. There's only 2 players that have taken Gulliver.
Wow.
What who that could
be? Those lists are probably really interesting, and I would love to talk about them later on in the pod. So we will come to that discussion. That's going to be great fun.
That's a good save there. I like
that. But any other final? There's a Raddy in there for contest, which is interesting to see. The Master of Lake Town, as we saw.
Who's got Musgur as their leader? That's quite fun.
It's AOL, I think.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Yes. There's a Muir in there as well. Murin and Jar. That's the expedition from the east to the east. Yeah. There's a Thorin's Company down there as well.
Huge TO question here.
Go on.
What if they seize the Imp and then do their expedition thing where they run away?
Someone's asked a similar question about the Watcher in the Water, and I've ruled it that if they vanish, then the object just drops there. So good. Yeah, so it would be the same thing. Yeah,
as funny as that would be, I'm glad.
Kind of,
well-educated view there, Harry.
Well, I think there is a proper ruling to sort of draw, and I think it was the Ringwraiths of Nazgul, Dol Guldur, or whatever they're called. They have that rule that they drop it if they're holding something. So if they die, just going on the lines of that. Yeah,
decided on precedent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we shall leave it there for the leader statistics then, and let's start looking at those juicy lists that you've all come to see. So where better to start than with the boogeyman of the GBHL? It's actually Walker's list.
Wow. I didn't expect to be up first.
In an effort to save everyone's ears from hearing him read out every single model in every warband, which he would inevitably do. I will
That's their
briefly
favourite
run
part?
through the highlights.
That's their favourite part?
He has 2 lists, obviously, at 850
We're
points.
not even allowed to read our own lists now.
100 points.
Just...
Yeah, we're not going to go through every
Viewers,
goblin.
I want to hear down below. Why do we even bother coming on? Elliot might as well just do all the jobs for us.
I'm sure they'd love that. So his 850 point list, 66 models, is the Balrog with 2 Black Shield captains and 2 regular captains. Load of goblins with spears, bows, and shields, and there's 5 prowlers in there, I think, as well. And then at 600 points, he's 34 models, still with 1 Black Shield and 1 regular captain. Loads of goblins, same as before.
If you're going to give a summary, Elliot, you might as well get it right. There's 10 throwing weapons and only 4 bows.
It even says it at the top.
I was going to say, there's also
where are the other prowlers? Where are the other
3 Black Shield captains?
Oh, there's 3 in the first one. Oh, I fucked it up.
This is just absolute.
We should
have
have
actually just let me roll with it. It would have been fine. Anyway, I'm trying to push
He's
the
got
blame
4
elsewhere.
Balrogs. He's got 8 Watchers.
It's a 2,000 point event. Yeah. So, what do we think? The Depths of Moria, on our views on depths.
So the reason that I have taken this list is because it is obviously very, very good. I haven't actually taken it to a GBHL 100 so far this year, and I thought this event, the scenarios that Harry has selected work really, really well for it. The fact that the Balrog and the army doesn't break unless the Balrog's taken 5 wounds. There's a lot of scenarios coming up that require models to stay on objectives around the battlefield. And obviously, if I can't break, those models can't take courage tests. So it's kind of playing the Balrog so he obviously doesn't take wounds or put them into really...
Should we clarify which scenarios there are? Because I think we might have touched on it, but
we didn't say that.
I was just going to say. So I'll just quickly. So there's Seize the Imp, which is a Seize the Prize variant where the Imp moves around, so the objective moves a little bit. There's Destroy the Supplies, the Imp's Curse, which is the doubles scenario.
No escape.
No escape. Thank you. And then there is the Contest of Champions, the Sights of Power, and Fog of War. So yeah, that just give you a vague idea if you know your scenarios. Sorry to interrupt, Nash.
Everyone's
no. I think that's a good point. It really is important that we know the scenarios. It's good to sort of outline those before we discuss all of this, because the lists have to be in the context of kind of those scenarios, right? So, for example, on the no escape doubles scenario, having the Balrog in the middle of the board with 18 models is obviously really nice. You can kind of guarantee that the Balrog's going to be out fighting anything on its own in the middle without the army's backup. And although the rest of my army is kind of slow, I've got enough might points to march it up and get there eventually.
The only thing I was thinking is that with the fellowship lists, they'll all deploy in the middle, so their support warband will come on separately.
That is pretty clever.
So having a fellowship against the Balrog would be pretty cool, but also
the Balrog may run backwards to join the rest of his friends. The only one that I think me and Sam have spoken about this a little bit that could be a challenge is the Seize the Imp, because obviously I don't have any might on any. I don't have a substantial amount of might on any good heroes in order to contain it. So if I do roll poorly, you might want to explain, Harry, how that sort of works.
Yeah, essentially the Imp, I think it's on a 3+, is it? You probably know better than I will, because I wrote it ages ago and haven't looked since. And no, it's something along on a 4+. So it's like you like to dig up the model as you do with Seize the Prize anyway. Then it's a light object, and on a 3+. Basically after priority but before movement heroics, you roll a dice, and on a 3+ the Imp stays in possession, but on a 1 or a 2 then it moves away. It starts just moving around, and you can might that roll. So if you get the 2, you can might it, or the 1, you can might it up. So yeah, as you say, you want to have it in the hands of a decent might caddy, I guess.
Precisely, which you can see is why lots of people have taken Aragorn, because he is really, really good for that.
You can't pass the Imp, can you?
No. I've remember the special rule is a wriggly rascal.
Oh, God, that's so cool. I wanted to read that out. I wanted to read that.
Sorry, Ash.
I literally got onto the event pack and I thought, that's a good rule.
Sorry, I've been loading it up in the background.
No, it's totally fair enough. But basically, my thinking is the Balrog should be able to hunt down the Imp if my opponent picks it up, because he's got such good move, because he's so massive. He can obviously quite nicely jump over bits of terrain to get where he needs to be. He's got the whip to try and drag that the model in. So that was some of my reasoning for that.
Yep.
And also it just really nicely de-escalates as well. You just remove the bottom 2 Mario Black Shield Captain warbands, basically a few extra goblins and Huzzah. You've got your Depths of Moria list going into Contest of Champions. I mean, is there a better model than the Balrog for Contest? Arguably,
it's up there.
Some, but not really.
No, yeah. Then, I mean, 3 heroic combats on a massive monster. Yeah, you're cooking, aren't you?
5-10.
You certainly are. And then thinking of fog, again, my heroes don't run away if I break. So as long as I, keep the barrel relatively safe, I can kind of guarantee that my protect can sit in the corner of the board or behind a piece of terrain. As long as I don't play the barrel terribly and get, half his wounds taken off, I can kind of secure those points. He's very good at killing stuff.
Well, speaking of points, sorry, Ash, this is why Ash is taking this list, because we need the points for the team scores to try and win the league. So that's why this man is taking
Ash himself
the dirty Depths of Moria.
Points.
Yeah.
He's doing pretty terrible.
How many podiums have you had this year, Ash?
I've just won one. One podium,
one
200 win.
So you need those points for the team, right? Yeah,
okay. I need those points for the team. I need those points for myself.
Elliot, how many podiums have you done this season?
I know. I'm not submitting a score at the moment, which is, keeping in trend for previous years. Though,
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Hey,
I've got that in my cap. Yeah.
Sorry, I keep just throwing shade.
I'm consistent. I'm like hovering over the kick button.
This is why you didn't have me on last year.
That was it. I know. I got a break.
I think quite a small sleeper in this list is actually the Moria Black Shield Captains with their 2-handed weapons. They're really quite good. They're really quite killy. And they give you that sort of, if you are playing Men of the West, for example, or Dwarfs with high defense, or even just D6, really, because obviously your goblins are only strength 3. They just give you that extra little bit of killing power with the board-wide banner and the spear support. You get a bunch of dice, and you actually do have a little bit of punch with them. So
I didn't realise strength 4 2-handed weapons not bad, is it? On a
I mean, you're only paying 5 extra points for them. Yeah, they get like an extra courage, an extra intelligence, and they get that 2-handed weapon and their D6. It's like it's the best 5 points you can ever spend.
And hatred dwarf, which is probably going to help at some point.
So dwarf meta,
and cave dweller. There's so many good things there. That's pretty good.
They're genuinely really good.
Yeah, they seem alright actually.
Yeah, there's not really much more to say about it. We've seen a lot of depths.
We've seen depths.
Sure,
but what do we think kind of about depths sort of in general? Sort of, I mean, Sam, I'll come to you on this one. We haven't had your thoughts about depths on the channel. How do you take this down? Does it need to be pulled down a peg?
Sam built a list specifically to do this.
Well, I think I do think depths is a wee bit strong overall. I would personally like a small FAQ of some kind in the future, if that does ever happen. Whether that is a case of even if obviously people, you could say you have to take the Balrog, but that isn't really much of a nerf. Like, sure, the Goblin Spam and Watcher with Goblin Spam goes away at that point. But
nothing changes if you just make the Balrog have to be the
nothing
leader.
changes for this kind of list, and it's still going to be really, really good. Like, maybe if you change something with the banner, because it's just the efficiency that this list puts out.
Wasn't the banner in the original Balrog list? It was linked to the drum, wasn't it? Like you had to have the drum model, and that was a global banner, so you could potentially go and kill the drum if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
I'm surprised because they basically just deleted the drum from existence in the game. Like it's completely
but
invalid.
It didn't have the courage either. Did it not?
Well, I think it had a fearless bubble around
the old one.
It didn't have the -1+1 thing. No, it didn't have that.
So the fact it gives you an extra courage, and also then minuses your opponent's courage, and there's a battlefield-wide banner.
It's just the Balrog being way better now as well.
It's just the fact that you send 4 goblins to go up against 4 elves on a flank. You've got the board-wide banner. You're most likely going to outroll those 4 elves, and your models cost 20 points, and those elves cost sometimes 44 or 46 points. It's quite criminal.
Yeah, it's just super efficient and like I couldn't pinpoint what I would definitely do to it, but
I
it does
would
need
be
toning down a wee bit.
surprised if it isn't changed in some way in the next FAQ in February. I would hope that it is. I would be surprised if it isn't. I thought it might be in this last one that we had in August, but I think they wanted to kind of give some more time to see how things develop. But I would think probably the next one.
I think Elliot did ask quite a good question. What is its counter? What does sort of when I turn up to the tables at Imps, what am I fearing? I don't really think anything.
I think there's always play, to be honest with it. I mean, like, Ash, I know you've spoken about taking like Host of the Witch King against it, which is something that it's in the if a mistake's made by the depths player, it can go pretty bad pretty quickly.
And how you beat it, Ash, to win your 100 like against Farmer, with Magic.
I was going to say magic is the counter, isn't it? Because it's even though he's got 10 will and a resistance to magic, like if you get a paralyze and throw, and you end up throwing 5 dice at it and you don't get that 6, then you've not got the might to bump it up or anything, and you're screwed, aren't you? So
it's the resisting, when to resist and when to use your will with the Balrog is quite is sort of a skill that you need to use, because you've got to remember, as Sam said, the goblins are just so efficient that you don't actually need the Balrog to do stuff. You just need him to not take 5 wounds. So if you're factoring that into your gameplay, like for example, if I was going to get paralyzed, Harry, you're damn right, I'd be rolling 5 dice and the resistant to magic to be like, do not do this to me.
Yeah, and to be fair, I can't remember. There's more than one, but there's definitely one Shadows of Angmar list which does have a couple of Barrow Whites in it. So there's
they're about.
Yeah,
if it go, Elliot, have you done this properly? Is the next list that? Because that would be a lovely segue.
Oh, sorry.
No. I thought I would leave. I thought I'd save that, gem until a little bit later on. I didn't link the two.
Oh, I can't wait.
No. Well, we shall move on then to our next list, which I thought we would stay in theme of kind of. People saw those top lists, so kind of, wanting to stay on trend there. So we have a Men of the West list here, or 2 of them at, so the first at 850 points, led by Elisar on horse. He has Leggy with armor and cloak, Gimli in there, and a Captain of Rohan with heavy armor and shield. And then it's just a tin can sort of spam with shield and shield spear, and he's got 6 bows in there. No, sorry, 3 bows and 1 Warrior hand with shield and throwing spear. So it's 40 models at 850 points with the 3 hunters plus the captain. Then at 600 points, he drops Gimli and the captain, so he ends up with 28 models. You could probably get that slightly higher if you took more Rohan, but he just wants the higher defense kind of across the board. He's still got the 3 bows in there as well. So what do we think, Men of the West?
I think having almost all Ministerial is the way to do it, because you need that D7 fight for like block to keep it going. If you have a lot of Rohan, I
think I tried to make the argument earlier on in this edition at the start of the year that was a viable way to play the list, and I turned out to be completely wrong. And it's not actually that good.
I think similarly when I have spoken about this, it's like, you could do the third throwing spears, 3rd bows, 3rd Ministerial, but you're right, it's just wrong. Taking as much D6, D7 as possible.
5-4, yeah.
I think it's the way to go, because it just means they last. The way this list works is you let Aragorn and his friends win you the game, and having D7 lets you have more time to do that. If you have lots of D5 Rohan, they just get munched, and then all of a sudden it's like,
you get more free might. Because there's more turns, because it's going on for longer.
100%,
so
100%.
More time for Aragorn to do his thing. Yeah. And obviously you've got the Dominant 2 for scenarios like Sites of Power, which is happening on day 2. It's just got all the tools for Frodo. I mean, even going up against the Balrog, like if you really wanted to run your Elisar in there and sort of, you do have the option to kind of, get there better than other lists sort of do, to take down a Balrog or something like that if you need to do that.
You've got your one chance to kill the Balrog, that's for sure.
It's also worth noting. I mean, you're talking about the length of the rounds as well, which they're 2 hour 20 minutes on day 1 and then 1 hour 45 on day 2. So I think day 1's perhaps a bit more generous than day 2 is for the points limit. I think 600 you probably want getting on for 2 hours, but So I think you do have that time to sort of last it out on day one with your Aragorn list. So day two maybe a bit less easy.
Yeah, obviously Haughty Models is maybe on the slightly lower side for day one at 850, not too low, but obviously to go with the 3 hunters, you can sort of run this list at 800 and get a similar sort of points count. So, but I
was intrigued by the captain, like just the lonely captain. Is there a logical reason for that? I can't quite think of why you would do that rather than just fill the warbands with loads of extra stuff. But maybe it's the numbers. Maybe that I can't. So we've got 6. There's 12.
There's
only
like
warbands.
You've got space for more stuff.
Yeah, you got easy a bit more.
Might.
Maybe it's
for moves.
Yeah, maybe
just Aragorn can keep on. Aragorning.
Is it for the fact that the no escape scenario? It means that you can march Gimli and Legolas.
The rest of the
that's probably it.
Which doesn't seem like a bad idea.
That explains it. Good job.
Yeah. Love to see it. Any other thoughts on this Men of the West here, Sam?
What? No, I mean this is the Men of the West that when I see 8 Men of the West or whatever, I insinuate that this is the 8 that they're are gonna be there basically.
They're not all like this.
Yeah, which obviously there's a few things that I would change on this. Like I wouldn't have the warrior helmet, shield, and throwing spear. I would just make that a warrior shield. To get more D6.
Maybe it was points like he just wanted to get to the 40 models. He wanted the captain, but like maybe you drop the shield on the captain, and that's how you get there, or something like that.
Yeah, but again, it's very, very good. It's going to
be. If we're thinking Men of the West is going to play a lot of depths, who takes that, do you think?
Well, Men of the West is one of the only lists that can have a shot versus depths because of for Frodo, Aragorn going to fight 8 and R'hllor striking up.
It has got like a decent model count in that day 2 list compared to the next one. And I think, Ash, we can actually tease slightly here. I believe that particular matchup we might be seeing in a upcoming
crazy scene.
Yeah, like I don't know if 28 models for the 600 day 2 is considered high. Like the average model count might be around 28. I don't really know.
Well, with Aragorn taking up so many points, it's kind of
like 28 isn't bad. It's fine. So and even for Fog of War, that list is pretty good with Legolas.
Yeah, you've got Legolas safe. Yeah.
So no, I like it. I think I wouldn't be surprised if a Men in the West does very well on the weekend for sure.
Yeah. Okay. I think we shall leave it there for that Men of the West list, and we shall move on to a little bit of an interesting list here for the Spotify listener, or 2 lists here. So it is a Legions of Mordor list. So on day 1, it's 47 models led by the Golden King, who is leading 2 Watchers Arcana with twin blades, 5 Haradrim Warriors with Spear, 1 Merchant Guard, and 3 Haradrim Raiders with War Spear. Then he has Amdur on Armored Horse, leading 8 Black Dragons with Halberd, and 7 Eastling Warriors with Halberd and Shield. Then he has Guritz leading 12 Black Nums, and then Raza leading 1 Merchant Guard, 1 Haradrim Raider with War Spear, and 3 Haradrim Warriors with Spear. Then heading into day 2, he drops the Golden King to make his lieutenant from day 1, who was Amdur, his leader for contest, which is obviously super nice. He's dropped that whole warband and like a couple Black Nums, but mostly the same list other than that. 33 models at 600 points for day 2. Now, Ash, if he is available, although I'm not sure if he is, I believe he ran this list as he returns here. I believe you ran this list at a GBHL 100. So thoughts on
not quite
the Golden King? You weren't using
quite
Amdur,
like this,
though.
but I did use. So my list was at Bubbles. I used the Golden King, Amdur, and I took a couple of chariots and had a captain. But no, it's really fun. The Golden King is really cool, and Amdur is a brilliant hero. So good. Arguably, going into Aragorn, he is one of the heroes that can really go toe to toe with him, because he's still fight 7. He's got an Elven made weapon. He's also got the strike if you strike sort of rule. So he's really, really cool. And the Golden King itself is an absolute machine, because he can just spend will points to be like, no, you are not striking me. So he's really good against the Balrog. He's also really good at, it's like, if you fail, if a model rolls a courage test, you can then like decrease that result by the amount of will points you're willing to spend. So it's just really good and really unique situations. You can really leverage those tricks to your advantage. I like the Black Numenorians, obviously. I'm not sure they're quite as good this edition, but they're still very, very good.
I found the Black Numenorian inclusion here really weird. Because they're obviously they're fight 4, but you get fight 4 elsewhere in the list. They're high defense, but there's nothing. Is it? Do you think it's to do with the terror and combination with the Golden King? But I can't see.
I think that's it.
Is that what it is? To see if your hero
because you
can
basically guarantee something fails if they're charged. You can basically. I mean,
it seems a big premium to pay for that though to me.
Yeah. It's more of a niche. It's more of a niche situation.
But I like it though. It's a cool combo. I love it.
It is fun.
All the stuff here is awesome. Yeah.
I think you'd prefer to have a wraith with it if you're taking Black Numenorians.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
But
maybe instead of Raza, you'd have like a wraith of some sort if you can.
So the real problem that I had at Bubbles was I just took too much Harad stuff, and again, those in the Golden King's Warband day 1, and then in Raza's Warband day 2, that stuff just dies. It's really hard to keep it protected. My one regret is that I just didn't get rid of all the Harad stuff, or only take the Raiders, because the Raiders are pretty good, and obviously they're more sort of maneuverable.
They are.
I mean, the Pike Block's great. Obviously, you get fight 5 with the Black Dragons within 3 ranges of Amdur. Again, brilliant. Guritz for the March. I like this. I think this is pretty fun.
I missed that entire conversation, and Ash, I saw you passionately sort of talking about your Golden King there.
Yeah,
my audio crashed.
I've got a Golden King to make.
Oh, really? It wasn't yours that you used for the...
soon.
Yeah. Did we touch on how great Amdur is and how we think he's so lovely in the new edition?
It's banging.
Nice.
Now for Imps, I tried very hard with Legions of Mordor as well as the Grand Army of the South with very similar styles, and just couldn't find the list that I thought was good enough for it. I tried with Golden King and Suladan and Amdur, because I thought, I'll have Amdur and Suladan day 2. It's gonna be great, but then that doesn't work because one's legend and I want Amdur to be my leader, and it was all a bit of a pig's ear. And I don't mind the Black Numenorians because again, you're basically gonna swap those for Morannons, right? Because that's the only other model you're gonna take in Guritz's Warband, and it's I mean, if you save points on the Morannons, all you're going to do is take more Harad with D4 and stuff. So it's I'm quite like the Black Numenorians, especially day 2 for contests and stuff. If for some reason a leader just does double 1 and a carriage test to charge, it's okay, I'll take it.
It's a shame there's not the usual sort of ring wraith synergy that we see there.
They just cost a lot. They just cost a lot now. I mean,
can you take any other wraiths in Legions of Mordor apart from the Witch King?
I don't know if all the other ones got added.
Maybe like the normal ring wraith.
I think they're like 120 points or something.
The ring wraiths they cost a lot for what they do, and and especially a lot of these lists are going. They just want their troops to do well.
And I've said this on the pod before as well. It's just such a shame that in this list you can't run the Witch King with anything other than Armored Felbeast and the Crown.
You could take like the Tainted or the Undying or any of the other named ones. So or Shadow Lord potentially. But they're like 130 points a pop, aren't they? So you what are you going to lose for that?
Without a horse.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I love the combo because I'm building up an army very similar to this for a tournament in a few weeks' time after this, but it's a few points more for that tournament. And this, I don't know, that it feels like it's just missing something, and I think maybe it's got no ranged kind of offensiveness. So I'd sort of be thinking, and then you've got such low defense with no range capability feels like a bad combo as well. So.
What I would probably do is I would remove all of the Harad stuff and just have 10 Haradrim Raiders. Give 5 of those of bow, have 5 of those of war spear, because they're only only like 4 or 5 points more, 3 points more than someone like the other dudes, like the Watchers of Kana, for example. And they're having a horse, having a war spear with alarms. You've just now got something that you can actually have as a useful tool. Whereas, unfortunately, from my experience, those 5 Haradrim Warriors with spear are just garbage. They're 7 points and they just
insta die.
But yeah, that was my lessons learned from that. Is I would have wanted to have taken many more Haradrim Raiders because they're so cheap still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that 800 you used it, Ash? I think it was.
Sorry, I didn't.
Was it 800 points? Sorry, that you're.
It was 800
at that
points,
event.
Yeah.
The Gollum King. Sorry, Harry, gone.
No, I was just going to say I can't remember what it must. I think it's in the Harad list where the models with a bow get a poison on their close combat attacks. Is not in Legions of Mordor? Yeah, because I was going to say the Raiders with bow and war spear is quite cool for that. But but no.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we shall leave it there then for these Legions of Mordor.
Really cool.
An interesting sort of twist there. Yeah, for sure.
I think
we shall move on.
That's a good matchup into the Balrog, especially day one.
Ashley Walger, your favourite, you're what we've been waiting for here. Now this looks like it is just 2 lists, your 850 point list and your 600 point list, but this list has been taken by 2 players who join us on the call here today. It is Serge and Vince. A little clash here, which we shall come on to. But who should we let read out? Who should read out these lists? Whose list really is it? I'm not sure.
I'll let Vince decide that.
You have to read it out, mate, because nobody else can be trusted.
That's
unfortunately, I can't claim this piece of genius.
The Gulliver. Is it Sam's list? Right. Okay.
Yeah. It's Sam's list, but I tweaked a little bit.
Okay.
It's okay. It's basically the same.
Yeah, I mean, basically, ever since Gulliver has been rebuffed, whatever it is,
he was shunned previously.
I mean, he was one of my favorite models last edition, and I just wanted to use him, and this was it kind of just fit well, and it was a perfect excuse to. So it's basically day one is Gulliver, Orc Captain, and then 3 Barrow Wights, loads of Orcs, and then it's 6 Spectres and 5 Werewolves with a banner. So a lot of Paralyze. Gulliver, again, as the leader, I only used him with Wraiths last edition, so and I haven't played any. I won't be playing any practice games with this before the event. So him being the leader will be interesting to play around. But yeah, it's got a lot of movement with the werewolves, and then also moving other models with the spectres. And Gulliver, I mean, he's kind of nerfed because there's no strike, and he still fights 7. Again, there's not a lot of might in this list as well, so I highly doubt I'll be calling many moves at all. But then, yeah, the 600 point version is you just drop 2 of the Barrow Warbands as well as 2 Spectres and 2 Werewolves. So it's 34 models in total. Yeah, I want to take this list mainly because of Gulliver. Whether I think there's similar lists which are better than it that do the same job, I probably do. Like, I still think Minas Morgul was probably better than this. And I mean, arguably host the Witch King with a safer leader and stuff, but I think it has legs, especially against the Balrog with 3 Barrow Wights, and I mean even Aragorn, with it being a 3+ now over X amount of turns, that becomes his resources will run low at some point, and but then it's getting Gulliver into him at that point. With maneuvering stuff around comes the challenge. So yeah, I think it'll be hard to use, but
they've tried to make him sort of like a little bit more resistant to the shooting, as obviously that was potentially a big problem with being a large target now.
Because he gets the Stalk Unseen, doesn't he?
Yeah, so Gulliver gets Stalk Unseen, the Spectres and the Werewolves, and the Barrow Wights. So anything
as well, their spirits.
Anything of value in your list, you can prevent getting shot, which is nice. And then you get if you kill a hero in combat, the whole battlefield gets -1 for courage tests, or the enemy battlefield. So again, with the -1 from Gulliver, it's pretty niche, but again, maybe on the other side of the board, far away, it might come into play. But
don't you also get terror with your orcs within 3 inches of a
Yeah,
spirit.
yes.
Yeah.
3 inches of a spirit model, you get terror, but like Host of the Witch King, which the number of Men of the West saddens me due to this.
Yes.
So see how where that comes into play, and yeah.
Sorry, I thought it was within 3 inches of any spirit model, like it is in Minas Morgul, but it's only the heroes in this.
Yeah.
In this one.
Yeah. That's why you got to take a good amount of spirits, basically. No shadow, because it just, with the de-escalation side of it, if every time I added the shadow, I just couldn't get a list at 600 that felt right. He just took too much up, really, and I wanted to paralyze for day 2. And then you couldn't really get a captain if you took the if you took the shadow. So then you got no march for stuff like fog, and yeah, I just went without him at the end of the day. Even though I could see him having a decent spot in this list with the -1 intelligence aura, and as well as the fate and stuff. So
because I know you guys have gone heavy on the shadow one. There is another list in there that's gone from the Host of the Witch King down to the shadows of Angmar, which is led by the shadow on day 2, which obviously is a big risk for contest.
Yes, shadow
but it's got I think more models than you, and it's still got 2 Barrow Whites.
I think.
Yeah, I think it's 42. Looking at it, 42. So you got like a model, but then they don't have Gulliver in contest. So, but it's just interesting that you know they've made that decision to keep to go for the shadow, which I like. I like him. He's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I again, that's another thing. I looked at taking this list with no Gulliver and going more Spectres and more Werewolves and 58 models and 60 models, and then having that 40 model list day 2. But again, Gulliver was the selling point for me in the first place, so I felt like I would be a missed opportunity again.
USP.
So.
Yeah. I like the werewolves for sure. Like having 3 of them, like on the Lemon Cup live stream. There was a Host of the Witch King list on there, and the werewolves were kind of going crazy. I think he had like 2 of them on a flank, and they were just kind of chewing through things. The fight 5.
The werewolves
is just so nice.
So good now. Like they are proper sleepers, and you just don't realize how good they are.
Yeah,
they got.
And I think obviously at 600,
edition.
I think everyone's going to be worrying about your big, leader centerpiece Gulliver, where he's flying around, and then you got 3 werewolves, which is a lot still, sort of running around.
The 3 werewolves is terrifying, really. I think this is better than Minas Morgul, Sam, simply because you've got the werewolves as well, and you've got the terror. But yeah, maybe
it's still got the Barrow White as well on 600 points with a load of werewolves. That's really intimidating, isn't it? But the 3 Barrow Whites on day 1 is just awful.
It's really good.
Because, like you said earlier, this is the list that your Balrogs are scared of, your Aragorns are scared. There's like Eagles, anything, or if we've got a Guy here kicking about, any of those lists are going to be, shitting themselves, thinking,
every
"Oh my god, I'm going to face 3."
Yeah,
exactly. I'm going to face all these paralyzers coming at me every turn.
Yeah,
it's nasty.
Yeah. But Vince, any thoughts on this? Is your list? What have you changed? What is the now? We have Sam's here, I think, up on the screen. But
did you choose to also take it?
Yes, tell us.
Must have been convinced by it.
So you see that Captain Warband. The only thing I did was I've got 4 orcs with shield and 3 with spear. Sam's got 3 with shield and 4 with spear.
You made Harry check 2 different lists just because it was swap around.
I just thought, I like having more shields and spears. It just felt more right.
Variety.
Yeah, I agree. Because who's that 4th spear guy supporting? What is he doing?
The captain, mate. God.
No, you don't count the captains for that.
Sam, you're absolutely ruined.
Wargear account, no.
Nah, that's all right. I love my spears.
Yeah, I mean, for 850 down to 600, this seems to work pretty well. Like all the warbands are full in 850 with all the werewolves and the specters. It just, it works very nicely.
It does.
Yeah, to drop down. Yeah, but it's the return of the Gulliver. To a GBHL 100. Feeling good, Sam, about your,
Yeah, I mean, I loved using him last edition. Feel like I did pretty well with him.
I was feeling good for Sam's chances. I think this is genuinely very clever.
Mm-hmm.
Just
It's a great list. It must be noted as well that in previous years, Gulliver has been an absolute terror at Lord of the Imps every single year. So I wonder whether that'll be the case this year, especially because this time there's no picking up the Imp with a model with fly. So
yeah, that's the only thing. I mean, I'd like to consider one of those people that terrorized with the Gulliver on the at 9 points the year because on the day 2 and yeah, like him. Like the only person you can really pick it up with that you're comfortable is the captain for the Imp. The werewolves can't do it, and neither can Gulliver. So to have
of course, because werewolves are beasts, aren't they?
so to have Mike is
So
becomes a bit rough. But
yeah.
I mean, if they do pick up the Imp, you can paralyze it, you can spectre the model. Like there's ways to get it back and stuff. So it's not the end of the world.
True.
Yes. If only I knew that when we played at Imps, Sam.
It's true. Yeah,
I may have won that game. There we go. So we shall move on from the Shadows of Angmar list, and we shall move on to my Halls of Thranduil lists here. So day 1, 800.
How did I not know you were taking this?
Yeah, how did I not know you were taking this?
This is Mitch's list, mate. What are you about?
I should have sent it in the Discord. 850 points, 48 models. We have Thranduil with heavy armor, Leggy with elven cloak, and a Mirkwood elf captain. So I've got a load of Mirkwood elves with shield. I've got 17 glaives, which is incredibly lemon. Only 2 palace guard, which is a little bit sad. And 4 Mirkwood knights. So I'm absolute max warbands here, and I've got a sentinel in there as well. Then day 2, I drop the Mirkwood elf captain, his whole warband, the 3 knights that are with him as well. And then day 2, I have the 1 Mirkwood Knight and the Sentinel still. I was maybe going to drop the Sentinel and get up to 34-ish models, I think it was, with some moving around as well, but I just thought having the Sentinel there for some of the scenarios day 2 could have been incredibly clutch indeed. But yes, my first time sort of using Halls of Thranduil. I will be using Mitch's models, Sam. I have them here, yeah, for sure, which everyone saw on the stream. We saw Mitch on the Lemon Cup live stream. So yeah, I thought it works pretty well for the scenarios. I did want to use Men of the West potentially, but I've used it a few times this year, and while I did enjoy it, I just thought I just wanted to try something different, and I've been eyeing up Halls a little bit for a while, and yeah, I thought it worked pretty well for the scenarios. Having a look though, there is another Halls list that is going, and they have decided to take Tariel on day 1 as opposed to my.
That was going to be
captain.
my first question.
I may be feeling a little bit. I wanted the March essentially, but obviously I see he has a very similar model count, but he has Tariel in there as well. So having the second hitter is nice. I just thought you've got Seize the Imp wanting to get kind of up to the Imp and not sort of lose that center control of the board sort of thing. You can potentially lose the game on that sort of early sort of, where you get to the board.
You're right on
and
that.
And then also as well, what's the other scenario day 1? The no escape variant, wanting to sort of get the rest of your army over to your leader in the middle. I'll have the march for that as well.
Good shout, yeah.
So I just thought having the march is really quite good, although having Taro would be great as well.
I think you made the right choice. If your opponent marches twice, and then they're now,
over the,
they're now
or at,
6 inches in front of the Imp. They just don't try and pick it up for about an hour, and you're just never going to be able to get it.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, unless you have a Balrog or something to reclaim that ground, which this list sort of might not be able to do that well.
I was going to ask about. I can't remember the rule. I haven't really delved into Thranduil as a whole that much. But the Palace Guard, what and the because you get special bonuses, don't you, for being within range of Thranduil? It's all bubbled around him, isn't it?
So they go up to fight 6 within 3 of Thranduil. So the thought was because they don't get the +1 to wound. So I'm like, and it costs a lot more points. I wanted to get to that 48 model sort of count. I think that's a lot of elves. So, and it was also with the points for day 2 as well. It became tricky to sort of drop the right amount of them to fit in 2 for day 2. So it was but I just thought having 2 there, you can keep them where you need them within 3 of Thranduil because it's not a huge sort of area. So if you do need the 5, 6 there, you can kind of put them where you need them to be. So and you get more +1.
Elliot, they do get +1 to wound.
Oh, do they? I thought it was only Mirkwood elves.
So I I've used this. I've used Halls of Landor. I thought, have I cheated? There's
Oh.
friendly Mirkwood warrior models within 3 inches.
Oh, it's not. Oh, I see.
So
It's
it's
not
just if they have
Mirkwood
the
Elf Warriors. Oh, I
yeah,
see.
it's just the
Okay.
Mirkwood keyword which Palace Guard do. So
There we go. They get the
use the +1. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say because 14, they are pricey for 14 points,
Yeah.
but they've got a shield and Elven Spear, so I guess that's. Can they shield? No, they don't need shield with that because they've got a shield.
I guess it would be awful when like Miles is running the Palace Guard spam. Then if he had no +1 on his Black Mark.
Yeah.
On his
Yeah. I mean, this is a list that I think it just does work well for this event. I would have done a few things different. Like I think day one I would have had a horse on Legolas, which I know a lot of people don't like because of the you then can't move 3 and shoot on a 2+ and stuff. But I think because
you got the
basically
points,
all of them are movement based, I think it's just quite valuable, and you could still get a good amount of models by going to 2 knights instead of 4 and having Legolas on horse.
What's
and
the
stuff.
other scenario? Day 1, sorry.
Because there's seize the imp, destroy supplies, right?
Oh, destroy supplies. Yeah.
And then no escape. So I think just having the ability to have a model like a hero that is moving that far,
with
that fast
there.
is good.
Mounted heroes that have might points are so valuable.
Yeah, and then day 2, then you could drop the horse because it classes war gear, and then you could just have him with Elven Cloak and just shooting in fog and stuff. Like the day 2 list, I think is exactly what I would take. But then day 1, I would have shifted a few things around, but it's still going to be solid regardless. And I think taking a captain is necessary. I think
agreed.
Mirkwood Elf captains as well now. Like obviously last
really
edition
good.
you see the Palace Guard captains, but with the glaive they're cheaper and the glaives are super good. So and they're still fight 6. Like,
Palace Guard captains are nice because they go to fight 7, and then you can just put them into a fight 6 hero. Then they just have to strike against it, and it just feels quite rough. But the elf, the normal glaive captain is also exceptional. So
more of an option now.
I think it's I think the Tyro argument. I agree. Is falls a bit short for me.
Yeah.
I like the Sentinel too.
Yeah. Sentinels, they're better as well now.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, with the little terror thing. I've got that day 2 as well.
Yeah.
I just thought like in like fog, obviously you've got the terrain piece, and you can move something away from that in sites of power. If someone has one model on a site or something, you can move that away potentially. Like there's also plays to win games you can go out and do with a Sentinel compared to not having one. Obviously.
Yeah.
Vince, sorry, were you going to say something there?
I'll be intrigued to see. Sorry, I'll be intrigued to see how many times you get the Thranduil free combat off.
Oh yes, yeah, because I think
I'll be asking you during the event.
Yeah, we spoke ages ago, and I had a practice game with Mitch the other day actually, and when I said about the free combat, he was like, "Yeah, it never goes off." So
that shit is not common.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it isn't. A few people have said that now.
Yeah,
so I'm hoping you'll be okay. Serviceable for contest was the aim there. Go on, Vince.
Yeah, are you concerned about not having a banner for supplies?
Yeah, I thought it was just like I think it was Heat of Kings earlier this year, and it was when I took Men of the West kind of with the Rohan-ish sort of build, and all those scenarios were confirmed as well, and I think we had the same sort of conversation, and we still didn't opt to take a banner in Men of the West, even though we had one confirmed banner scenario, because it was only 1 out of the 6, and sort of to use those points on other things throughout the tournament was sort of okay, and you get by with that. So that was sort of the same, kind of thinking here. Like Halls has still been super strong this year, probably going into tournaments that might have had more banner scenarios, as there are more of them now. So to have one scenario,
I think the Plies is probably the one you really want the banner in, because the 4-point swing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
is that the one that has
not
it?
Like...
So is there only one? Sorry.
Yeah.
There's only one scenario that has it.
Oh, for Imps.
There's only Imps. Yeah. It's just supplies.
Yeah, but it's just that there's a lot more VPs in supplies for banners.
I think what you've got to remember is when you're playing Halls, Elliot, is that Halls probably is the best killing combat line for line list in the game. Where it loses is in scenario. So you need to kind of you've got to plan a couple of turns ahead, because you don't have that much movement, and you don't have that much get out of jail cards.
4 Mirkwood Knights, baby.
I remember I played someone with Halls of Thranduil at supplies, and he had like a gun line, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna sit back and shoot." I was like, "You'll lose if you do that."
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I'm not max bows either. Yeah.
Yeah, you do have to be proactive.
I'm near enough.
You pretty much have to run at them if you've got this list, and they're probably gonna have a banner as well. So
it can then punch through stuff, but yeah. So we'll see. No, I'm excited to use it. It's the only elf faction I haven't used yet. So yeah, but we shall leave it there for the Halls of Vandal list. We shall move on to have a look at a Ugluk Scouts list. Scouts has been doing very well lately, both variations, Lurtz's and Ugluk's Scout. So thought we'd take a little look at this one, as it is a 67 model list, 850 points, led by Ugluk. He has 2 Uruk-hai Scout captains, 2 Orc captains, and also Snaga as well in there. Has he got 2 banners there, or has he only got the one? He has 2. Yeah, 1 Uruk-hai and 1 Orc. Loads of bows in there, 19 bows, 13 might, 67 models, very scary stuff indeed. And then at 600 points, he drops Snagger and one of the scout captains. So he has the 2 Orc ones, 1 scout captain and Ugluk, and only 1 banner, so he's dropped the other banner. But he's got 50 models at 600 points still, which is obviously super, super strong indeed.
Insane.
Fight 4, strength 4, move 8, all those juicy things indeed. So what do we think about this one here?
Pretty gross, isn't it?
Just that number of models at 600 points, and not just any models, but like, you know, you've got a substantial number of strength 4, fight 4 models there. It's very intimidating, I'd have thought.
It is a lot.
Yeah, you compare it to the Man of the West list and the Balrog lists at 600 points. The Balrog and Aragorn are just physically not going to be able to kill that many scouts.
But the scenario, of course, Ugluk is very bad at Contest of Champions. He's the sort of hero that very rarely gets even 1 kill. And if you're throwing him in, so I do wonder whether that might be a bit of a mistake to bring this sort of list when you know you're going to play Contest of Champions day 2. Because day 2, you know, when you've got to have done well, you might be playing really good players by that point.
Are they hoping to go 5-1? Are they knowing they're going to drop a game with this list, and they just think it's super?
But that's just losers' mentality
in all those other scenarios. I mean, hey, I'm not taking the list, but
no.
5-1 with 70 odd players. I don't know how good that is overall.
5-1
with 40. Yeah, fair enough. But it's like, I mean, I do think Contest is the only scenario that is on the ropier side. But again, he can kill stuff, and I guess you're kind of hoping to shoot with your 13 Uruk-hai bows into combat and kill the guy that their leader's in combat with consistently.
Maybe, yeah.
It's just, you would usually always like purposely not really put Ugluk anywhere near combat. But
that's right, yeah. But he's going to be stuck in the middle. He's going to have to sneak out quite quickly. The other thing I thought was Fog of War is it's not ideal for Ugluk Scouts. I mean, they don't have the kind of assassination model that can easily get to that target that easily. And then you've got all captains and Uruk-hai. I mean, like, you know, they can. I guess you could dump them at the back and not you know, let them anywhere near the front line. But even so, it's not going to be super easy to protect your target and protect your model and kill their target. So, hey, look, it's a 50 model strong army is still very intimidating, but I just would worry about the scenarios if it was me.
Yeah, it's going to march at you and just hope to kill everything. Go on, Vince.
Yeah,
I think Sam and I would probably hate playing this.
They will. The thing is, there's no terror mitigation for this, which is
it's only when they're broken that Ugluk can do his thing, isn't it?
Well, no. You kill an Uruk and get fearless, don't you? Right.
Oh, so he can do that.
Okay. Be fearless, yeah.
I don't know if it was only
which
once
is what you do. And the Barrow-wights have got no targets, right? And then you're outnumbered by fight 4.
Well, in contests, they do.
Contest is the only one.
There's only one. Yeah,
would be okay, but
it basically comes down to like, you would have to somehow paralyze Ugluk so that he couldn't kill an Uruk to get the thingy, and then also you'd have to slam your werewolves in and hopefully just chew as much as possible. It would be being outnumbered by fight 4. Would be pretty rough.
67 models. We've got 52, isn't it?
Yeah. Again, like the Spectres would maybe you could Spectre Ugluk consistently.
Slam the Spectres in the combat.
There is.
But that's not going to help either. The D6.
I wouldn't think I've instantly lost her if I played this personally. It'd be tough, but yeah, I think it's doable.
And if you think like those 40 model Men of the West lists, like sure you've got LSR and some, you know, other great heroes and things, but like you're outnumbered by 27 models. Like that is, you're hoping for a lot of terrain on that board that you can sort of, you know, hide between. Otherwise,
I think Leggy kills, you know, 3 models a turn and the most broken model in the game.
Oh yeah,
Legolas.
Oh yeah, of course.
Is really good against this D5 list because you charge it, as you said, as Vince said, you charge it like 3 guys, and then you go, okay, 2+, hit. Oh, I'm winning on 5s. Boom, 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 boom. You can kill a guy even if they surround you.
Yeah.
It's just if you just whiff a combat, then you do just immediately get murdered.
Yes.
But no, I agree, Sam. I don't think that yours and Vince's list necessarily lose against this because with a couple of those Spectres and Gullivar's 24-inch range, a lot of those models are going to be used protecting Uglug, the captains, the other heroes, because otherwise Gullivar just goes in and immediately munches them. They're also not that brave with Gullivar's -1, so
he has the fearless though. Uglug
you get fearless if you kill an orc, right?
Yeah, true, but then you're getting a model every turn, slowly reeling down that model count.
Yeah, 67 to 66.
But what is it? It's only within 6 inches, right?
Yeah. It's 12. Oh, I thought it was 12. The Standfast is 12, sorry. The Fearless is...
So,
and they get +1 to wound.
Well, if
it's not even just the Fearless.
Yeah. But it's not...
Killing without
like, I agree with Sam on the fact that it's not, you know, it's not great, but it isn't instant lose.
No. But, you know...
The 19 bows kind of sucks, though.
Yeah, in that 850 point list, but it's a lot of models. It's scouts, we know it, we love it, but I'm sure this list will do pretty well over the weekend indeed. So we shall keep it moving on to our next list, which is a Army of the White Hand list. Keeping a sort of theme with the other sorts of lists that we've seen here, kind of being on the upper end of the most represented lists. So 850 points on day 166 models this time. So another huge sort of horde there, led by Saruman on horse for contest. He has the Wildman Oathmaker, 3 Wildmen Chieftains, and then Grima as well. He's only got 2 Crebain here though, so not too many compared to what we've seen a little bit more recently, and just the 1 banner, I believe, as well.
2 Crebain seems low.
It's low, I know.
But 850 points as well.
850, yes. And then 600 points day 2, 41 models. So he drops one of the 2 of the Wildmen Chieftains, one of the Crebain as well. So only 1 Crebain, but he keeps that 41 models there for day 2 with Saruman on horse there as well. So thoughts on Army of the White Hand, Sam? I'll hand over to you first of all on this one. We haven't had your thoughts on White Hand this edition. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think this would be okay if there was more Crebain, which sounds really, you know, just like
Crebain equals profit.
Yeah. But day 1, again, a lot of movement. Just show supplies. Like, do they have any wild riders or any sort? No.
Well, Saruman has a horse.
Saruman has a horse.
Which more mobile than usual.
Yeah, exactly.
You got 12 inches for your Crebain, and that's it. Like, they're your only fast moving units. I think it's even if you, I mean, I would take more than 4 personally. I'd be going a lot more. But you have the ability to take a lot of fast moving stuff for day 1, and they kind of haven't. And then again, day 2, Crebain are a major tool to help you win contest, like a major tool, and there's only 1. So I feel like it's just a bit of a missed opportunity, personally. I think this is, again, some of the scenarios aren't, like, contest isn't ideal for it, but you built properly, I think you could have a much better shot.
How would you change it other than the Crebain, or was that the Crebain? Was that the main?
For day 2, definitely the Crebain. Like, I would just probably drop models and get more, maybe 3 somehow. 3 Crebain.
I guess you have lost 20 points that you would usually have by the horse on Saruman. So
it's
true. Horse on Saruman's good. Like that's
but
fine.
You need that.
You don't need that many models if you've got more Crebain.
Put it this way, I don't know why you chose this one particularly, Elliot, but there are other armies of the White Hand which have a lot more Crebain.
I didn't see one unless I missed one, but
there's one with 8. So
maybe I missed that.
Yeah, I thought I'd read one. I don't know whether that was a deliberate choice on your behalf, and I've just ruined it. I don't know. But yeah, no, there's definitely one with more. Or a couple. I think there's what was there 3 or 4 army of the White Hand lists?
3.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the other 2 have more Crebain.
Unless there was 4 and I missed one, and I thought there was only 3.
I mean, you know what? It could just be that this person has bought 1 box of Crebain, and that's all they've got, which would not surprise me, because they are quite pricey.
Considering how expensive they are, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that I think, yeah, it is surprising that there's so few.
Yeah, I think day one.
Yeah, there's one here. There's one here. Sorry, Sam, with 9 actually. Day 1 with 58 models.
Yeah,
like that sounds more like it.
Yeah, this list is absolute filth at Seas.
Yeah.
Like if you put a wall of Crebain in front of Caesar Prize, you know, it's pretty tough. Sure, they can't pick up objectives, but you then have a lot of models. You have a lot of march. It would be
you just march up. You put 9 Crebain in a wall in front of the Imp, and they can't do anything.
Yeah.
That's half move. 3 turns. Yeah, and a half move.
You half move them too.
So a tip,
just look at my birds.
A tip for the viewers: if you go first, then you can march. But if you go second, don't march, because the moment you do that, Saruman just calls a half move, and you've wasted your might point for an inch and a half.
He has that in the back pocket. Is it like in his activation that he chooses what he wants to?
Yeah. So only march if you go first.
But then he could call a move.
He could, but it's better than marching if you go second.
And agreed.
Because then he'd spend a might point. You've got the option to call a move as well, but you probably won't because Green is there. But at least it forces Saruman to spend a might as well. But you just don't want to make the mistake of marching if you're going second.
Away that might point. Yeah.
So don't do that.
Fair enough. Good point.
Any more final thoughts on Army of the White Hand before we move on?
Grima's just brilliant.
Grima is just so good.
And what the horse, the Saruman horse? What do we think about that? Because I'm surprised it's there, frankly.
Yeah,
like a contest. I think. I thought.
I love it.
Unless there's,
I
thought it was only for contest. I don't know.
Ashley, tell me why 20 points is worth it for Saruman.
When I won my only 100 this year, my Saruman had a horse. So what does that tell you?
Okay.
That seems a reasonable argument, to be fair.
It seems usable.
Is it like, I don't know, you throw the Crebain in on day 2 and then Saruman just legs it, or something like that? Because other than that, I can't really.
If you're taking this, the horse gives you more like it just gives you more movement, more plays. It allows you to do a few more things with Saruman.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's essential for contest. If you're gonna take Saruman, he has to be a general. He has to be a champion.
Yeah, this is the only situation where you probably should take the horse if he's gonna be.
Because you want to get those 2 or 3 kills or whatever, and then hightail it.
With the horse, it actually enables you to kill stuff in contest. Without the horse, you're just utterly screwed.
That's true, I suppose. Yeah.
So,
okay,
It's interesting, that list that has the 9 Crebain on day 1 with 58 models has 4 Crebain and 40 models on day 2. So he's only got 1 less model than this list to say. At 600, he's got 2 more Crebain, but I don't think his Saruman has a horse. So that's and then he's moved some other things around. So
interesting.
It's going to be really tough to kill anything without the horse in contest.
Yeah. I guess if you shove a Crebain per turn in their face, plus transfix, plus Grima, then you're just making their life harder.
Two-handed, I think, though.
Yeah,
he can. Yeah, he's got a hand and a half club, hasn't he, or staff?
Staff.
So
yeah.
Hand and a half staff with a horse. You've basically got a killing hero.
With a knockdown,
190 points worth bargain.
Dice. Yeah, love it. Okay, well, we shall leave it there for Army of the White Hand, and we shall move on to our final list here. I thought we should close things out how we begun the list reviews by talking about some goblins, but a different variety here. We have 2 Moria lists. So both lists have just huge goblin span with shield, spears, some prowls in there. But no bows in either list. But on day 1, he has 2 Goblin Captains, 1 Shaman, and then he's got the combo of the Dragon and the Watcher in the water on day 1. 48 models, and he's got Breathe Fire and Fly on the Dragon. Then on day 2, he's dropped the Watcher. But I think other than that, I know also 10 goblins from the other warbands, but other than that, everything is the same. He's got the Dragon for contest. So what do you think on this one? Sam, you've used dragons this year. You've used 2 of them.
Yeah, only via Dragons of the North because I'm a filthy man. However, I think this is good. Obviously, it's like, so Caesar prize, your dragon can't pick up the prize, which is fine. You do have 2 captains for that, which is a big help. So if you march with one and pick it up the other, you then have a 2 might person to have to carry it with.
Yeah.
Also, the Watcher for that scenario is pretty helpful. And I don't think the Watcher can pick up stuff. I'm assuming it's a beast. I don't really know.
TO ruling there, Harry, or for the
what was that? Sorry.
I don't know if the Watch has the beast keyword. It might do.
I don't know.
I see. Just if it has the beast keyword, then
if it doesn't, it can totally pick it up. But
yeah. I think someone has asked me specifically about what happens when if it drags something to the depth, and where does it go, and what happens.
It must be.
Yeah, then it drops. So I think it must.
It doesn't
not be a beast,
have the beast keyword.
No, I didn't think it would.
It's the Kraken race.
Whatever it is.
Kraken.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, no, I think. I guess I don't know if 48 models is enough, is the issue. The goblins will die, and
these aren't the Uber goblins from the
like the goblins will die without the banner, as well as for the movement scenarios like supplies. The Watcher is good for that. It can pop up on the side and be a nuisance. But at 850 there, I'd assume there's quite a lot that can go a bit more toe-to-toe with a dragon. Like, even if you flew a Gwai into it, and it's just then not breathing fire and stuff, like you will be able to surround it a bit. But I find that when I used them previously, the 12-inch, the Fly and the Breathe Fire, like, it is very good, but I think it sounds better than it is. It's hard to maneuver properly, and get where you want to be, basically with how big the base size is. So like there is definitely play around that. And I mean for day two it's pretty gross. If you consistently breathe firing on a leader is pretty rough. And then just going in after that leader's dead and just mopping up everything. So yeah.
Not if your Balrog's immune to fire attack.
That's the only thing with this
so
is
fiery.
I think maybe I would have I think if you run this list, every time I build Moria, I feel like I need to take Druzag to get bats so that I can at least have a chance versus the Balrog. Because then you can Fury for the bat and it goes in instantly and stuff like that.
Yeah, agreed.
And the Watcher kind of eats up its points because it's 90 points for Druzag, and then you pay, say you want 2 bats, that's 70 points. That's 160, and you've only got 40 points left. So I get why you've gone for the Watcher. But I mean the Balrog is gonna absolutely just destroy this, I'll be honest. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty rough.
Was this after your experience against Sauron that it's sort of?
Yeah, I mean, any big monster that is.
Yeah.
Is anything bigger than a dragon, which isn't a lot, admittedly.
No.
Will do well, like the Balrog and especially Sauron. But yeah, I think it was day 2. As long as you don't play a Balrog, I would be surprised if this person lost contest they should win every single time. Because it's 38 models is a good amount. I don't know the Goblin Shaman having transfix still, maybe. The cheeky 3 dice transfix at a leader could be quite fun.
The thing is, the shamans in general are just now better because you can channel. Whereas, like, You think, oh, it's casting on a 5+. I might not even cast a Transfix last edition, but now I know that guaranteed one turn I'm going to cast a Transfix on a 6 or another spell on a 6, and it will be good.
Yeah. That cheeky.
I think this is good. I think the amount of barrels I would have expected is why I would divert away from this idea. Basically, is my thinking. So, I mean, if they don't play anything or barrel wise, it might be sound. Might be a really good list. But
yeah,
I think it's just base size dependent. Like again, the dragon is literally a dinner plate. It's so big, and it's you can really anti-fly zone very easily, very very easily with few models, and it limits the movement even more than what the base size even allows you to fit it in.
Yeah.
So the dragon's still courage 4, right?
So it's 6.
Oh, sorry, 6+. Sorry,
Yeah,
4 in Old Money. So sorry, there is still that sort of small chance of it. If you do get the wound on it, it can run away pretty quick. But I was just because hypothetically, if someone were to have a catapult with severed heads and and the Golden King, hypothetically, that would be a good combo, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think
insta-killing a dragon. Bam.
I think I've snake eyes on my dragons more in every game I've played. I want to say
every time I've used them, they've run away. But they are much more powerful now. In the run up to that, and the breathe fire being basically unlimited is kind of crazy, isn't it? I don't like that. I haven't played against them in the new edition, but yeah.
Go on, Ash.
They are good. I think it is going to be matchup dependent, as a lot of things are. But the tools are there, and it's there to be won with the scenarios are there to be won with this list because the dragon just is good. The low model count's a little bit tough. I think I would agree with Sam and would prefer the bats with Druzhag than the Watcher. I think it just probably gives you a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll be interested to see how this one pans out for this list for sure. But okay, that is our final list. No tier list tonight, unfortunately. But maybe next time. We need more Gollum's gamers at these tournaments. Obviously, Sam and Vince are using the same list, and then it's only me and Ash. Ben is going as well, but he's using Army of Dale. So I just thought that was a
and Ben's Army of Dale list it's a very bad list.
I think it's just because it's sort of like his theme, isn't it?
It's good on him, but it's not very good.
Yeah, well, he's taken the bad version of Dale. He's taken Army of Dale.
Yes, so not very good.
It's just he could have taken the good version, but no, he's taken the one.
I think
he's
used that he has used that quite a lot this year, I think, and I don't think he likes it.
Yeah, good on him. Good on him.
He's done very well with it, but I don't. Yeah, it's just not about that. So okay,
he's had his time bullying people with it, I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. Now. But Harry, thank you very much for joining us. Anything you want to plug, Entmu, or your
you know what
on?
The one thing I wanted to see at the tournament was Mummox, and we've still not seen. I don't think we got any Mummox. I think we might have one Mummox actually this time.
Last year, actually.
But, you know what? I think last year was the first time we had any because
the year before. Sorry.
Maybe I'm wrong. I might have forgotten about them already. But I love seeing Mummox because what I've wanted for years is to see someone doing the Mummox on day 2 on Contest of Champions and just bam straight into it with the leader, like the Mummox war leader, and just do the trample straight away. But nobody's. I think maybe one person did last year.
I played one day 2.
Maybe
2
that's
years ago.
Yeah, maybe that was it. But anyway, other than that, thank you for having me on. I've got a podcast talking about the Army of the White Hand, how busted it is, the Eagles, how busted it is. That should be out as you listen to this. So hopefully we can hear about that. That's from one of the players who keeps winning GBHL 90s with the Eagles. So
are they better than Depths? What's the hot take?
What Depths Moria than the Eagles?
No, or Army of the White Hand. Best list in the game, you've got to say right now.
The best list in the game?
Best list in the game.
You need to go and read Harry's article that he wrote on the GBHL website.
I genuinely think it's more up in the air now than it has been at all in this edition. I don't think there's any one right answer, but I don't think any of the scary lists that people said were scary in sort of August time or July time are actually that scary anymore. I think there's so many little combos that you can have that can work around them that maybe. I mean, Eagles are still unfun to play against. Don't get me wrong, and the depths of Moria is still got a lot of great bonuses. But I don't know. I'm not. The best list in the game, Road to Rivendell.
I'm sure there's lots of untapped, potential still floating around.
I 100% think there are. There is a lot of lists that haven't been seen at all that have got really quirky, weird stuff. So I'm liking the fact that Imps people are trying stuff out. One. Yeah. Go on. What's your one?
We're keeping it for the finale.
The meta's going to be here soon.
in the back pocket.
Fair enough.
Put it in the back pocket. Coming to an event near you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me on either way, and for bigging up the event, and a big shout out to the finale. I know, as you said, Elliot, you're gonna be there streaming, and it's a big one. I don't think we've ever had a 1,000-point finale before, so it's super exciting. That's gonna be pretty cool. Great way to end the year. Bring all your toys, have some Christmas celebrations. It should be good.
Yes, 1,000 points on the stream will be fantastic indeed.
Would.
So yeah, be sure to check out all of Harry's stuff. I'll have it linked down in the description, and that's going to close us out. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching another episode of the Gollum's Gamers podcast.
Boo-rum.